I've been meaning to get to this weapon for quite a while. It's one of my favorite weapons in the Dark Souls series, and I use it a lot in Dark Souls 2. It was a really top tier weapon in Dark Souls 2. And in Dark Souls 3, it's still very good. Now, I start off not so hot, obviously getting parried, and I've talked about this many times. Usually, the only way I lose is when somebody gets a parry on me, and that's not bragging or anything. It's just, you know, it's what happens, really. And it's very rare that I take a lot of hits usually, because if you watch any of my videos, you know that I'm very focused on spacing and baiting out my opponent, punishing attacks. Not necessarily playing super patient or super reactive, but just playing what I like to call smart. So understanding the neutral game, understanding the space between me and my opponent, understanding the ranges of weapons and how to effectively roll through attacks and punish enemy whiffs and stuff like that. But this guy actually, this first guy I fought in this fight club actually did fairly well. He was, in my opinion, a pretty good player. You can see the way that he's kind of angling his attacks. It actually hit me and mine missed him. So he was actually extremely smart, and I'm actually going to steal that tactic and try to analyze it myself, because I think that could be a very effective way to make great swords much more relevant than they currently are. But that's for another video. Let's talk about what this video is all about, which is the Dragonslayer Spear. Like I mentioned, it's one of my most favorite weapons in the Souls series. It was really OP in Dark Souls 2. In this game, it's still very good. And surprisingly enough, for the person that wanted me to review this weapon, I think there was actually 3 or 4 people. But most recently, somebody did ask me to review it. It seems like the best build to put this weapon on is just a standard old quality build. It doesn't gain much scaling from faith, so it's pretty much irrelevant to level up your faith, as you only gain 1 point of lightning damage for every point of faith you spend. It is much more relevant to put those points up to 40 strength and 40 dexterity. Above that, you basically get 1 point of physical damage for every point after 40 dexterity, so it's not really worth scaling up there. You might as well just level up your strength up to 40, because you do gain 2 points of strength, more or less, all the way up to 40. And that's basically the way you max out the damage. So right now we're doing around 517 points of damage, or 513, something like that. And this build, I mean, it's just a spear, right? I mean, you're going to have a few mix-ups between the R1 and the R2, but that's pretty much it. The rolling R1 isn't that good. It's an upward swing that doesn't have a very large hitbox, and it's easy to punish, easy to parry. But where this weapon really shines, and it's, you know, something that's not really looked at all too often, but it's its counter damage, believe it or not. You're gonna see in this fight club, I absolutely just dominate this fight club, and there's a point that gets really funny. I'll talk about it when we get to it. But without the Leo ring, the counter damage that this weapon can do is absolutely insane. With the Leo ring, which, in case you guys don't know, adds 10% counter damage to your attack, the damage is off the scales. If you can force a trade with the spear, which is very easy to do, or even just punish an attack because it has such good range and such good pokes, especially with the running attack or just even the regular R1, you will do an insane amount of damage. So right here, this is what I was talking about. I don't know what happened. So we've won like 3 matches, I think, or is it 2 matches? I don't know. I think we fought 2 few Ultra Greatswords, right? And then that first guy with the Greatsword who I was impressed with. So that's, I think, 3 wins. And then for some reason, I don't know what's going on here. This guy's getting invaded or summoning people that's trying to kill him. I don't know what's going on. This dude is trying to parry the Smog's hammer. I don't know. It's hilarious. I was literally laughing so loud at this point in time during the fight club. I didn't know if this guy was getting triple ganked. I don't know what was going on. I was like, should I help him or should I just let him like duke it out? I don't know. But this guy, he held his own. So props to him. This is so funny. I'm watching it back right now and I'm actually laughing still. Like, I remember seeing this and I was just laughing so loud. And then what's even more funny is the one Phantom who was like not really doing anything, he decides to try to join in the fight. And oh, look at this guy, can't even hit the other Phantom. He's not even paying attention to him. Oh my god, oh my god, I was just losing it at this point. I had to set my controller down. I was laughing so hard. That's how you know you're a nerd, by the way, if you're just like losing your shit on Dark Souls just for like some really lame ass shit right here. Like what's going on right here, I don't know why, but I just found it absolutely hilarious. And then finally the fight splits off and these 2 guys go fighting their own way. So props to this dude. He gets backstabbed with the Smog's hammer. I'm just losing it. I'm crying right now, dude. Like, oh my god. This shit was just too funny, man. Oh my god, it's just chaos, bro. It's just chaos. It got my PvP matches just got absolutely derailed at this point. I'm just like sitting here, like I don't know. Like, let me know what you guys think about stuff like this. Like, I mean, you've seen in some of my videos where I'm summoning people over and over to fight them, and then sometimes the fight gets interrupted because, you know, one of the phantoms decides to try to gank you or something like that. It's just hilarious, but I don't know. It's funny. Usually when, you know, if enemies are contesting each other, I'll try not to jump in. And I'm actually sitting idle on my PS4 right now, and I think I'm being summoned as a blue phantom. I don't know, but anyways, I'm watching this video, and I guess they finally, you know, sorted it out, and he ended up killing the 2 invaders that tried to gank the host. So props to him. So I'm gonna fight this dude now, and we're gonna see how we can do. So back to what's important, which is the actual PvP matches. So here we're gonna go up. It looks like against a katana with Darkwound Blade. Something that should be fairly good against us, but you're going to see again just the power of this spear. It's absolutely insane. So we notice he goes to his shield. We know he's going to want to parry us. We catch the rollback with the spear. Again, something that the spear really excels in is that whole spacing and catching the rolls kind of tactic, which I really like to employ. There you can see again catching his roll, spacing it correctly. So this guy's going to run at us. I miss my parry. I don't even know why I bothered to do that. I'm so ashamed. I never really liked to parry, but it is what it is. So at this point, I kind of know this guy wants to really rush me down. He's really behind on life, which means I know he's going to go for the parry. And after we hit him, after that first missed parry attempt, I knew he was going to go for it again. And you've seen me do this countless times. It's usually pretty easy to read the parry. And if you see the enemy starting up an attack, you can usually react roll. But just running to the side and running behind them, if they end up parrying, you get a free backstab. And if they end up trying to attack, usually since they have their shield in their one hand, you can see the startup attack of a one-handed weapon, which is which is actually quite slower than a two-handed weapon, and that's very easy to react to. So this is another reason why I always like to two-hand my weapons. For those of you that are wondering, you always see me two-hand all of my weapons: ultra great swords, katanas, straight swords, spears. It doesn't matter what it is, I'm two-handing it all the time because it makes it a lot harder to react to. The weapon comes out faster, it starts up faster. It's just a better version of the weapon. So I don't parry, so it works out well for my playstyle. And if you guys don't like to parry and you want a little bit of extra edge, I really recommend trying the two-hand of the weapon. It really can make the difference. And again, I don't even use shields in this game, to be honest, so it is what it is. But if you want to see me attempt to parry, let me know. You know, if you guys watch my videos, I'm always down for you know, trying out a challenge or trying something that you guys want me to do. And again, you know, very easy. Once we see him with the shield in his hand, we know he wants to parry, so we go in for the quick and easy backstab. Again, he's one-handing his partisan, which makes it very easy to react to. Right here, I actually mistimed my roll and ended up getting caught before the roll even came out. He ended up hitting me for a little bit of damage. It's very inconsequential since it's basically just tickles at this point. But I think this is like the 5th match in the Fight Club. We've pretty much beat every Phantom. Look at this. This guy, you see, this is what I mean, guys. Like, he's just spamming out the parries. When they realize that they can't beat you, they're gonna resort to that kind of tactic, and that's why I say, you guys have seen it. How many enemies try to parry against me, bro? It's absolutely insane. Once they realize they can't hit you, it's absolutely insane. Like, that's really like one of the only ways I take damage. Anyways, it seems like this host has had enough of being invaded and getting ganked. I was going to return to my roll because I didn't know if he was going to wait to summon more people, but he ended up jumping down to fight me, so I was like, alright, I'll fight you. But then of course this dude invades him, I guess, and the host is trying to eat a lightning bug pellet, or the yellow bug pellet, whatever it is, the one that increases your lightning resistance. So he's going to go real try hard to try to beat us here because he knows how we play, and I've talked about this in my Chaos Blade video, in my live commentary. I said, if you're in a Fight Club and you see how somebody plays, you have a significant advantage over that player because you know, just by watching one match, a lot of their tendencies. This host has had the ability, or not the ability, but has the opportunity to watch me play several matches. He should know exactly how I play, and he should know exactly how to counter me. However, if he's not going to try to parry me, I'm going to have a significant edge because I personally think that my spacing ability is a step above most other people in the Pontiff PvP area, and as a result, that's why I usually am so consistent. So you hear me talk about this all the time. I'm not trying to brag, but honestly, guys, if you want to improve in PvP, learn the spacing. It is so critical in this game. You can win matches without even being reactive just by understanding spacing, and you've seen me do it in countless videos, and just understanding the mechanics of the game, knowing how to read players. You've seen me do it, right? You just run up behind somebody because you know they're going to parry, you backstab them. You approach them, you space it correctly, you can outspace an attack or react roll even on the startup of an attack, and just maintain that kind of flawless gameplay where you're just so agile and you're spacing everything so properly. And this is a real change. If you've watched my channel where I uploaded a lot of Ultra Greatsword gameplay, you've noticed that that mentality was always rush down, go for the trade, go for the hyper armor. It's a much different approach when we go for this kind of approach in terms of being agile, learning the spacing better, playing a little bit more reactive. So it does make the difference. And right here, I think you're going to see, no, I think it was earlier on, but you can see if you were paying attention to some of the hits that we can come out with some insanely high damage with this weapon, and that's without the Leo ring. So where this weapon shines, the counter hit. So this is a weapon where you would want to fish out trades. It could even probably trade with Ultra Greatswords, but you have to be wary of getting the combo off on you. So just be wary, but try the weapon out. It's definitely one of the better spears in the game and one of my favorite weapons. But let me know what you think of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Drop a like on the video. It really helps. And check out the channel for more Dark Souls content. Thanks for watching, though. Quantum is out.